This week's proud sponsors of PG and Dax Roundup are Murphy and Young Limited. They design, manufacture and supply and erect bespoke timber kit houses and summer houses. You can visit them at www.murphyandyoungltd.co.uk or contact them at info@murphyandyoungltd.co.uk. If you're looking for any more information or if you get any projects they can assist you with, just give them a shout. The lads are honestly brilliant. We really appreciate them sponsoring the show for us. We hope you enjoy this next roundup from PG and Dak. Cheers. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the roundup. Got some cup action in the south of Scotland this week, and then we'll get ourselves into the Premier League of 3 conferences and Division 4. Dak, how you doing, mate?
All good, mate. Working yesterday, so missed football. I'm going out on a date day with Mrs. Dak today, mate, so looking forward to that, to be honest.
Oh, two's buzzing, man. A child's free day on the bevy.
Mate, we've got to play that at golf thing, mate.
Oh, mate, that's might be good.
Got to play that and then going to get something to eat and a few drinks. Nothing mad, but a wee...
I was going to ask you where you're going, but I don't want people to turn up and hound you, mate, so I'll no bother.
I don't want people wanting Hannah's autographs. No shit.
Yeah. I was like, we're just out for a nice meal now. I know, sweethearts.
Yeah.
And I don't
want Western Scotland managers coming down and kick my head in.
Right. Well, I've got like I said to you before we came on there, Mrs. Gordon's working the day, so I've got 2 wains and I've got my mate's wee lassie's kind of christening thing. So
right.
I don't see. I'm in 2 minds, mate. I don't know whether just to kind of tie them up to the lamppost outside the pub and get bevied myself, or just be responsible. I'm not really sure what I want to do. Well, I know what I want to do, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
You're asking the wrong guy, mate. I'll be telling you get bevied, mate.
Right, we'll get tore into it. So,
Aye.
starting us off, south of Scotland in the southeast section, Bellshill 2, Dundonald Bluebell 5, Kilsyth Athletic 1, Oakley 3, Camelin 2, Rob Roy 1, Caledonian Braves 3, Shotts 1. In the northwest section, I'm apologising, Dak, Ashfield 4, Greenock 6, Beath 2, Neilson 1, Glasgow United 4, Dorai 1, Glenvale 0, Petershill 5, Kilbirnie 9, Ardeer 0, Kilwinning 7, Ardrossan 0, Maryhill 1, Arthurlie 2. In the southwest, Carluke 1, Cambuslang 6, Glenafton 2, Craigmark 1, Lugar 6, Wigton and Bladnoch 2. Mona Lugar!
Yeah, stop the Lugar, mate.
Royal Albert 2, Wishaw 3, Troon 13, Mid Annandale 0, Dalbeattie Star 0, Whitlets 1, Nitsdale Wanderers 2, Hurlford 7, Upper Annandale 0, Lesmie Hagel 4. Mona Gow! So, we'll just start with you, Dak. I know you weren't there yesterday. What's the chat?
Chat's disappointing. I think Gaffer's gutted. I think he's scratching his head as well. You know what I mean? Our Achilles heel's been defending, and it's not just the goalie in the back fours. Collectively, we're just no defending and making it hard for teams to score against us, mate. Again, we've scored 4 goals. Ryan McManus has got a hat trick. We've been 2-1 up, we've been 3-2 up, and then I think it was like a 10-15 minute period, we've just lost it. And we scored to go 3-2 up, and then they've scored right after the back, right for that goal, mate. So, as I said, I can't comment too much, but speaking to the gaffer and that, he's gutted, mate. He's disappointed, and it's just, you're just like, you're scratching your head, man, with why we're conceding so many goals.
It's a hard one to take. Because like you said, if you're scoring 4 goals in a game, you really shouldn't be losing. And it has been a wee issue for you. On the plus side, you score a lot of goals, and I think we spoke about this last night, if you can sort out that defence, no, like you said, no just the defence, defending as a team, you'll do well, man. I know it's daft saying that, because that's like saying anybody that's losing games, if they sort of defence it, they'll do well, but the amount of goals will start scudding teams.
See, not honest with you, PG, mate, I think we've got good defenders at the club, and if you look at our goals against record, it's no very favourable. It doesn't look good, but there's good. We've got good defenders there. I just don't know how it's happening. We're just making mistakes, and we're not really teams aren't really having to work sometimes hard to score a goal against. And I don't like saying it on this, because I would never really want saying bad about the boys because they're an amazing bunch, man, a great type, and we were going well before that. Listen, it's a cup, we'll not get too drawn on it. It's just disappointing, mate, because you know what, I concede 6 goals, mate, and it doesn't matter if Greenock are a very good side, mate, and but at the same time, mate, we've got to make it harder. We've got to stop teams scoring goals. We've got to stop giving ourselves a mountain to climb. You know what I mean? That was similar to last week as well. We've made it easy for Thornwood to score goals against us. And we need to get back to being compact, hard to score goals against. And that's just something that we'll need to work with the boys. But it's just up to us to rectify it, I suppose. We're the ones in charge. So at the end of the day, the buck stops at us, mate. So it's not good enough for us, and we'll just try and push the boys on again to bounce back.
Who have you got next weekend?
Port, mate.
Oh, hard game there.
Tough, mate. Tough game, mate. They're going well, and it'll be another hard game, mate. So no easy games, you know, mate.
Oh, exactly, mate. Exactly. Looking through, big surprise for me. Not so much with the result, with the team winning, but more so the scoreline.
Yeah.
So Burnley beating Aberdeen 9-0. Really did not see that coming.
Yeah. That's a very impressive result. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs yet. Kilburnley to beat Ardea, who are going very well now, must have been electric yesterday. And they've obviously put in a very, very good display. Sean will be disappointed. Sean will probably be feeling a wee bit like us now, do you know what I mean? We're still not a million miles away for the pack in the top 4. We're one away for that. Sean's team are still up there. So he'll be like, yeah, the boys, listen, let's not overthink a cup result, and let's try and focus back on the league again. But he'll be disappointed, mate, because that's the amount of the cups, and you don't like to lose 9 goals, but at the same time, hats off to Kilburnley. That's a tremendous result for them.
I was talking to somebody who was doing watching the game yesterday.
Yeah.
And said that the Ardea goalie was excellent yesterday as well.
Well, Tommy did say that to me. I was talking to Tommy last night, and he was saying to me that it should have been more if it wasn't for the Ardea goalie, and that's horrible, mate. I've been there before. He's a goalie, and you have a great game, and people are going, well, you were man of the match, or you were brilliant there, but you're still going up the road saying conceded 9 goals, mate. It's no much consolation, mate. It's a horrible position to be in. Keep on, mate.
That is not. Looking at because I looking through the scores, I'm going to apologise because Mrs. Gordon dug me up. She never watches, but she watched a wee bit of last week's roundup. I'm always looking down. She says all she sees is my baldy bit at the top of my head because I'm always looking down at the scores and stuff. So I apologise for that. But it was quite a bad day for the West teams yesterday, particularly in the South East section. Bellshill losing to Dundonald, Kilsyth losing to Oakley. A big game, Camelin beating Rob Roy 2-1. That's that was two bigger sides.
Yeah.
Caledonian Braves beating Shotts 3-1. Maybe shows Shotts. It's not a terrible result. 2 leagues above them, basically. So it's not a terrible result at all. But maybe give Shotts that we're not quite at that level yet, where if we want to step into the Premier League, that's kind of the quality of our Premier League teams. And then for one I took a wee bit of interest in was Beath beating Nielsen 2-1. So we're going to be beating Beath in the next round. So, but you're unlucky, mate. You only got to the second round. But I watched a wee bit of highlights. I tell you what, see the boy McGlinchett plays right back for Beath. What a strike he's got.
Mate, he's searing set plays, corners, free kicks, anything for 30 yards out, mate. He's got that sauce, mate. He can zing one right in the top bin, mate, for any fucking distance.
Mate, honestly, I try my best to watch as many of the highlights as I can. That's generally what my Sunday morning spent doing. But every time I watch, man, he's always got a good free kick, a good shot, man. I'd like to go down and watch Beath actually, just to, because he plays in the position I played in. Always have an interest in fullbacks. I'd like to see him play.
You know that Butch and the Beath loyal will always make you feel welcome.
Definitely, mate. Definitely, I'd be happy if PG and Jack did.
It's a good result for Beath because Nielsen, good side.
Yep.
Definitely a good result last week. Shotts, as you say, mate, it's no disgrace losing that game. Bellshill, mate. Bellshill, I think they were winning the game at one point. They were winning the game at one point, so they've maybe just sounded a bit like us. They've maybe conceded a goal and then just a wee bit self-destructed. It was maybe a wee bit like us yesterday, and that's me just maybe talking for what I'm seeing just with Twitter updates and stuff. Maybe no, obviously I've not been at the game. And as you say, Camelin, Rob Roy, that's two big clubs, you know what I mean? So it's
a goal and it's probably what you'd expect out of that. Somebody to win by a goal, you know what I mean? Donald are a good side beating Bellshill. I want to get down to see Bellshill as well. I was only there for a wee short period. I know how much work the committee have put in. The management team are doing very well there. So
yeah,
it's like you said earlier, it's the cup. You don't dwell on it too much. Looking at a result at my own as well, Arthurlie beating Maryhill 2-1. See, for me, that shows how Maryhill have been recently. I mean, there's absolutely no disgrace in losing 2-1 to Arthurlie, particularly after Arthurlie gave them a right doing no too long ago. So it shows them.
Arthurlie went down to 10 men and all, mate, so it's a good result for Arthurlie. Because they've just shown Maryhill are going well, confidence is high. They're not going to be easy to play against there now. So for Arthurlie to play against them, go down to 10 men and win the game shows that it's not just about scoring goals and dominating teams and getting impressive big wins. They've just shown maybe yesterday that you can maybe go down to 10 men and still get a victory and get through in the round, you know what I mean?
Just to touch on it, just purely for the scoreline, Troon beating Mid Annandale 13-0. Obviously, we know nothing about Mid Annandale. Oh, that's impressive for Troon.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
Good for Dean and Dean and the lads down there. Do you know what I mean? 13, mate. You score 13 in any game. It doesn't matter what opposition you're playing, mate. You're obviously got to be on fire. You've got to be on point. You're attacking wise, man. It's different class, mate.
Just the two wee quick ones to finish up on. Lugar, after last week, we made the wee mistake of them losing 6-2.
Big mistake for the fourth, wasn't it? Big mistake for the fourth, but
delighted for them to win 6-2 yesterday. Again, it's another team we don't know anything about, but that's what Lugar obviously needed. They've had a really hard season, and I'm really pleased for them to get a 6-2 win. And
very, very delighted for them.
My team won 4-0 yesterday, Les Mahago. I'm delighted with that. Well done to the Gow. Keep going, lads. PG loves you.
What about I know just touching, man. We Scott Williamson and our hat trick, mate.
That's right. I never even read that one out. Where are they?
Mate, see that boy? He is using Clydebank terms, mate. He is disgusting, mate. He is total spank the monkey.
He's spanking the monkey. That's 26 goals in 12 games he's got.
Mate, it's not the exact same, but it reminded me kind of Callum, mate, his first season where everything he hit was going in. Callum's return wasn't quite as high as that, so wow, mate, hats off to you.
Tremendous film, well done, Scott. Right, moving on to the proper stuff. I tell you what, there was not a lot of goals in the Premier League yesterday. Ben's 0, Meda 1, Blantyre 0, Talbot 3, Bonnyton 0, Glencairn 2, Cumbernauld 0, Clydebank 2, Darvel 0, Cumnock 1, and finally a goal for the home teams. Pollock 1, Rossvale 0. We'll start on the big one for yesterday. I know we said we're going to concentrate on the lower down teams, but we have to start on the big one. Cumnock beating Darvel 1-0. It's a really, really tough time for Darvel right now. Great win for Cumnock.
Yeah, saw Mick doing an interview in Darvel TV.
How good was it?
I spoke really well. Because it's tough, mate. See, even this, I feel, with just doing the podcast, seeing you've had a disappointing result and to try and come on here and be upbeat and all that and trying to be positive, not when you're hurting, it's very difficult. So hats off to Mick and Darvel. I watched that video and they'll get it right. On the game, mate, what a result for Tony and the Cumnock boys. Tremendous, especially after last week, because as I said, and Tony alluded to it, I watched Tony's interview after the game and all. He was talking about how the lines were all on the money yesterday, from defence to midfield to forward. So for them to get down there, keep a clean sheet, win 1-0, put the disappointment the Talbot game behind them is an absolute tremendous result for them. And again, with Cumnock, they seem to be doing well against all the higher up teams. Not I mean, they seem to be being able to turn a lot of them there. So hats off. That's one of the results of the day for me, mate.
Definitely.
And even though Darvel haven't been picking up the results that they want, you're still expecting them 1 week. You're expecting them to maybe turn it on, or I think they might. I think they'll be due to go and give somebody a bit of a doing 1 week, and I think obviously Cumnock have been outstanding yesterday, so absolutely superb to Cumnock, Tony, Branco, and the committee and all that down there will be delighted.
That was a really good result. Cumnock on them, played 12, won 6, lost 6, scored 14, conceded 14. You can just see what their issue is. I mean, the last 6 games in the league is lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. So it's that inconsistency, but that was a top result. Looking on Darvel, another bad one for them. They've not won any in the last 5 league games. They've had kind of mitigating circumstances and stuff with players being injured, COVID, whatever. I still think they've got a squad that should be doing better. But like you said on that interview, I thought I genuinely really enjoyed watching it. I thought credit to the media team at Darvel, because it's easy for clubs in media to be very soft on the manager and give him easy questions. They put quite hard questions to him. But to be fair to Mick, he was really honest in his answers, and I really enjoyed listening to him. I thought he was excellent in his interview, and I think it's great the club did that. It was really a really good interview. Moving on, Talbot 3-0 against Blantyre. Watched the highlights this morning. Talbot looked very good as usual. What I will say about the highlights was they had a wee bit of a go at Cumnock on the intro and their highlights story did. It was something along a wee warning signal, and it was like something about them beating Cumnock at home. The fort is falling or something like that. It was quite funny to be fair. But moving on to mate, it's funny though. It's good into a wee bit of rivalry. Moving on to Bonnyton, Glencairn. Bonnyton having a really difficult season. Only won 1 game, and like you touched on last week, it was against Pollock, who are absolutely flying. Glencairn, that was a good win for them. Bumped them up a wee bit. They're kind of having a good bit of form. 1-4 at the last 6. Bonnyton's just really struggling now. I think maybe this is a level too high for them now.
That's what I was going to say. It's very difficult for Bonnyton to get put right into that league, and with the standard of player there and the standard of club and teams that are really established. So listen, see the thing for Bonnyton, they're not really, it's not been getting disgraced. They're losing games quite, it seems as if closely, and I feel for them, because second game of the season if they've won a game and then you think that they're going to kick on, but it's just one of the things. But Glencairn, good result for Glencairn, 2-0, clean sheet, superb.
Well done. On Rossvale, losing 1-0 at Pollock.
You see the goal?
What's that? Oh mate, how good was Dale's goal?
Dale Esplin's goal, mate, is an absolute
mate, what a finish that was, man.
That's a strike, mate. I think 10 years ago I'd maybe get a touch to that, mate.
See if you listen really closely, see as he hits it, you hear the goalkeeper going, "That's in."
Do you?
No, no chance he was ever saving it. Rossvale Dax doing a really good job there. Won 4 at the last 6, lost 2 at the last 3, but losing 1 to Pollock, particularly in the form that Pollock's on. Away at Newlandsfield, absolutely no shame in that. That's obviously points, but it's not a bad result. It's no kind of doing anything.
They're not going to dissect that too much and go into training on Monday or Tuesday or whatever and overthink it and things like that. I've seen that they gave their goalie a shout out, so they've obviously, their goalie, Craig Orton's obviously had a good game as well. So maybe could have been more just with going with that, with the feeds on Twitter and stuff. But they'll not be disgraced with that. They'll just go back and concentrate on the next one that comes up.
Moving on to Conference A, Glasgow Uni 3, Maple 3, Irvine Vics 0, that Muirkirk Mob 3, Borough 0, Girvan 0, Saltcoats 1, Forth 9. Start on Glasgow Uni and Maple. 2 of them have been doing really well of late. A 3 each draw, that's probably sitting well with the form.
That's it. The 2 of them are going well. So it sounds an entertaining game, mate. 3 each, you know what I mean? So 2 of them haven't lost the game. The 2 of them continue their good run of form. Probably a fair result. I don't know. I've not been able to see any highlights or anything like that. But yeah, no surprise that's ended in a draw because it was 2 teams on form.
You look at the run that Maple have been on, 1-4 and drawn 2 at the last 6. Other than Shotts and Atherley, they're the informed team in the league.
Yeah,
People will be a bit disappointed not to win that because it kicked them on and pushed them right up the table. But with two teams who are on form, it's not that bad a result. Irvine Vicks and Muirkirk. Muirkirk, just they're not stopping really, are they? They're just plugging away every week, getting wins. But
I've said it before. Played against Muirkirk earlier last previous couple of years, and Cave's got a good mix here because they've got good forward players where they score goals, but see defensively they're quite good defensively. They don't concede a lot of goals. Muirkirk, like they were like that when we were in the league with them, and that they were a hard team to score goals against. But at the same time, they've got players in the forward areas, Big Naddy, Gray, and all that. Do you know what I mean? They've got players in the forward area that are going to score goals as well. So they've got a good mix to be successful. Know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing you're saying about the defensive record. It's no surprise that the top three have the best three defensive records. Muirkirk have the fourth best goal scoring record, so they're up there for a reason. They're doing really well. Irvine Vicks, it's 13 games without a win. They're really struggling, losing a lot of goals, 44 goals in 13 games. Again, they're another one where we've spoken about it before. The league's kind of where it is this season, and teams are just going to have to deal with it until they get down to their own level. Because you look at that yesterday, you know, fourth taking 9 off of Saltcoats. It's no nice to see that happening to teams, because as good as the new setup is, and obviously this had to happen for teams to get put into their level, it's really no good for teams to be having defeats like that, and hopefully it doesn't affect their teams too much.
See, firstly on Irvine Vicks, Dougie's a great guy. Dougie was my manager briefly at the Rock. So, see, honestly, I think that they're actually doing better. I think Dougie's got a very young team down there. So I think they'll take just a wee bit of time and adjusting to the level. As you say, it's hard because you're playing against some very good sides. So hopefully the Vicks can pick up a wee result in the coming weeks, because I'd like to see that for Dougie, because I know how good a guy he is. I own fourth in Saltcoats. It's hard for Saltcoats. It's a tough one. Seen obviously they've had to cancel a game a few weeks ago when one off players. Right. They've advertised for players, then they've lost a couple of games. So it's no nice to see, because they've been about a long time. But for fourth, mate, fourth are on a good run. Fourth are doing well now, mate.
That's fourth of one the last 4 in the bounce. Only lost one in the last 6. They're only 5 points off top of the table, so they're in a really good position. Aye, doing well. I see. Finally, the Borough and Girvan drawing nothing each. Two teams who probably not doing as well as they should. Looking at the Borough, it's pretty clear what their issue is. They've only scored 18 goals in 12 games. Conceded 17, so defensively not too bad. Just no scoring goals. And
it's mad because they've got good strikers there, mate.
I know.
And then I've seen your muckers, he retired.
Yeah, I say that anyway, aye. So I don't know. I think he's having issues with work and stuff, and
I know his missus is due a baby and that, isn't she? You know what I mean?
And she rules the roost, so he just does what he's told, to be honest with you.
I think we all do, don't we? Oh, you shouting me there, Missy Dan?
Right, moving on to before we move on, heard a wee rumour. I tried to get it out of the Renfrew committee yesterday. They wouldn't give me anything when I was doing it our game. Heard a wee rumour that that could be Jamie's last game at Johnson Borough.
Aye.
Don't know if it's true. Just a rumour, but it was what I'd heard.
It'd be a great appointment, mate. I'm hearing a wee one that there's a John Doyle's going in for a Greenock job, mate.
Well, mate, I'm just going to say it. He's getting interviewed today, and so is Ian Nixon, the Largs 20s manager. They're both getting interviewed today, is what I hear. So we could be looking at Greenock and Renfrew having new managers within the week, and possibly Johnstone Borough not having a manager. But it's all hearsay and conjecture at this time.
Yeah.
Moving on to Conference B, Kello 1, Port Glasgow 3, Newmains 1, Renfrew 2, Thorneywood 2, Gartcairn 4. Good win for Gartcairn. They've been needing that.
They've needed it. Well. They've been out and strengthened. Obviously, got a couple of centre halves. My big mate Terry Hewitt has obviously made a difference. I think he got man of the match yesterday. Sounded a good game. I think it was 2 each at one point, and then Gartcairn have been dug up then motoring on and getting a couple of goals. But as you say, Gartcairn needed that. I'm happy for my big mate Millsy at the same time. But Nizzy and Dolsey were brilliant when we played them last week, man. They're absolute gentlemen and great guys, man. Sat down and had a good chat with them for ages last week. So that was one you didn't want to really see anybody losing the game, you know what I mean?
Nah, that was a good one. I think that's one that Gartcairn needed. Like you said, signing Big Terry. Who else did they sign during the week there?
I think that boy for Leslie Lithgow Rose.
I don't know him, but you're assuming
that's
it's been a decent signing if he's been at that level. Terry for me is even though Terry will be about 33 now, Terry is, I think it's a great signing. Terry's excellent at what he does. Kello 1, Port 3. Good win for the Port. I know they're struggling in terms of numbers. They had Coyley playing for them yesterday again, but that's a good one. They needed that as well themselves. But the thing is as well, I've predicted the Port to have a poor season. They're sitting fourth in the league just now. A couple of games. Teams have got games in hand on them which probably will move them above them, but they're sitting fourth in the league. That's a very good season. And I know they've had issues with numbers and all that, with injuries and boys' work or whatever. They're having a really, really solid season.
They're doing tremendous, Eddie and Coyley, and that's a good result because we went down to Kello on a midweek and it was tough, man. They get on at you, the Kello support and that get on at you and that. So they went down there and got a good result, and we play the Port next week, which to be honest with you is a massive game. I've said that to Matt, saying that because if they beat us, they pull a wee bit more away for us, and if we can go and beat them, it pulls us right back into the top four and in that kind of pack in the top four. So it's a big game next week. It's going to be a very tough game, do you know what I mean? The Port are doing well, and for all they're saying, for all people say, spoke to people and saying, oh, physical and all that, they're obviously good at what they do because they're scoring goals and they're winning games, you know what I mean? So you need to find a formula that works, and Eddie and Coyle are obviously finding that down there.
The thing is, the Port there's no denying it. I mean, it's always been the same I signed for the Port 10 years ago, played them for years before that. That's where the Port have always been, very physical, very aggressive, but very good at it as well. They're effective at it, and I think that Coyle and Eddie and Andy are the right guys to be there because they've all got that passion and drive about them, and the boys respond to them. I had a wee short stint playing for the three of them, and they're cracking. You want to win for them. Moving on to New Mains and Renfrew. I bumped into wee Scotty Morton for Renfrew yesterday after the game. He didn't give much away to me. He kind of just said it is what it was. But that's another game. Even though New Mains still haven't won, that's 2 weeks in a row against two better sides. They've only lost by a goal, so hopefully there's a wee bit of improvement for Paul's side there.
See the hard time for them now for New Mains is they've obviously had to deal with a bit off the park with Paul's father passing away and
sorry,
back. We obviously send our condolences. So they've had to deal with that off the park. To be honest, there the last couple of weeks for outside, it looks as if they're getting that wee jag off the boys, and they're getting a response off the boys. So they're not really far away. It doesn't seem they're far away from picking up some results.
They've been improving.
They've lost narrowly at Deer. They've lost narrowly against Renfrew. So no, they're not going to be an easy game for any teams, and I wish Paul and his family all the very best.
Definitely. Right, we'll move on to Conference C.
Yeah.
Drumchapel 2, East Kilbride 1, Lark Hall 2, Vale Clyde 0, Ants 1, Kilsyth 2, Vale Leven 1, Perthshire 2, Yoker 3, Lanark 0. The Drum just keep on going. That's another win. After last week's defeat, they'll be pleased to win that. Unlucky for East Kilbride. Don't know how the games went, but only losing by a goal when the Drum are flying. East Kilbride have been having a bit of a tough season, so it's not a bad result at all.
No, obviously losing a game, you don't want to lose any game, but the Drum, mate, is, I don't think they're making hunters of noise, and that's probably the best thing. That's probably the best compliment you can give them, because not everybody is pure shouting for the rooftops for them. They're just going about their business. They're winning games of football, and they're sitting at the top of the league. So brilliant. Hope's done a great job down there, and they're doing really well. And John Black and also, they just keep going about their business, and at the end of the season, that's how you win leagues, because you just keep knocking off 3 points. And when other teams are playing in the cup, they're putting the pressure on with winning games and just getting enough 3 points on the board. So they're putting on pressure on the teams round about them.
Definitely. Looking at the Ants, another defeat against Kilsyth. Kilsyth, who are starting to motor a wee bit now. But again, for the Ants, 2-1, it's not a bad result. Yoker beating Lanark 3-0. Lanark having a really poor season. I mean, doesn't always guarantee good players, but they're paying a decent bit of money to some boys there, and to be sitting second bottom in the league, it really isn't good enough for what you'd expect at a team that are able to provide decent money to what you would think are decent players.
Just Lanark's had to deal with a manager leaving quite early into the season, with Jamie leaving and Colin getting back. So I think he'll find that this season's about trying to get the players in he wants and thinking about next season. But at the same time, they'll not be wanting to finish in the lower bits, the lower levels of the league. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it then affects the league you're in next season. So for every team, you want to finish as high as possible to end up in the best league possible for the following year. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Larkhall beating Villa Clyde 2-0. Villa Clyde another one going through a really hard spell. Only won one game in 12. Really struggling. Perthshire winning 2-1 against Vale Leven. Vale only having a great season, but Perthshire are really starting to turn it on. That's won 5 out of the last 6.
Shire have had a couple of games cancelled recently due to COVID, and I've said this on this before. Billy down there deserves tremendous amount of credit, man. See what he's doing down there, and getting a team on the park every year, because they've not got much to offer the boys. But see what I've seen things there the last few weeks. They're trying to put stand in. Looks amazing. My uncle's actually linked into the Shire, and he got a letter after him, and it was inviting all the old boys that used to be part of the Shire and all that in for nothing, and he watch a game and they all get to sit in the new stand and all that, and it was a pure nice touch when he was telling us about it. So no, hats off to them. They're pushing their club on half the part with putting infrastructure in, but they're also doing the business on the part.
So, I think these things start to come hand in hand, and it's good to see they're doing stuff like that with the ex-players, and you might get some of the ex-players want to get involved again and help out in committees, and which again really helps the club. So it's
they're doing the thing with the season ticket, where if you stay in that postcode you get in for free, and
that's good.
Things like that. So they're doing a lot of good things within the community in Orishire. So really hats off to Billy for all the work that he's doing there, both on and off the park now.
Good on them. Division 4, BSC 2, Harthill 2, which Dunor Cooten.
Was that the only game?
That was a game at Dunor Cooten. Campbelltown 2, Hamner 6, the mighty San Pedro's 3 and Fanart 1. We'll start with the Super San Pedro's. Yesterday was excellent yesterday. First half, both teams kind of cancelled each other out pretty flat. Fanart took the lead. I actually never saw their goal because I was filming a bit of the game, and I moved the camera at the time and never saw it. Then we got it back to 1 each before half time. Second half, we were excellent, controlled the game. New boy Scott Lewis, after setting up the first goal, scored a double. He was dynamite, absolutely brilliant. Our front three were excellent yesterday. And to be fair, we were great across the board. Fanart, a good side. Do you know what it looked like to me? It looked like two teams who are really stepping up. Like, they looked like two teams who could probably be mid to bottom half of the table in one of the conferences. They would just look better than what I've seen at this stage so far. But really pleased with it. Fanart lost the rag a wee bit at the end. Started getting a bit needly. Got a boy sent athlete on for a really bad tackle on VJ Linney. But credit to Fanart. It's Brian. We know Brian. He's a good guy. He was really honest. He was good enough to speak to me after the game.
Yeah.
It was just a good performance. I was really, really pleased with it against a good side.
No, it's a good performance for you. I've seen the goals, mate. Very good goals that you scored. You know what I mean? Brilliant for the boy in his debut to get a couple. As you say, Brian, we had a sit down with Brian during the week, man, and really liked the way he came across. Think he's going to do a really good job at Fanart. I think they're going to go from strength to strength. They'll still be up there towards the end of the season, but listen, great result. It's kind of probably give your boys a bit of belief in there that they can actually kick on and maybe try and catch Kilsyth and Fanaart now, because it's gave you that 3 points, and more than 3 points, it's gave you the belief that you can go and beat one of the top teams in the league.
Aye, that was Fanaart's first defeat in 6, and that was your third win in a row after 3 defeats. We're looking better. We're adding a wee bit of quality. We're hoping to add possibly 2 more in the next couple of weeks. If we could do, definitely helps us out a lot. But that takes us to 9 points off a top. We're a game in hand against Kilsyth and 2 against Fanaart, so we've put ourselves right back in it. But it means nothing if we don't win the games in hand. Moving on to Campbelltown and Hamney Row. Hamney Row, another team who they're starting to do quite well. They've only lost 1 out of the last 5. 3-0 at half time, ended up winning 3-2, travelling through there. A game with Keith on the show as well, who this will be the lead.
Was it no 6?
No, 6-2 it was.
6-2, aye.
3-0 at half time, then they won 3-2 in the second half. Doing really well in Hamney Row. I think we're starting to see a wee split emerging where Kilsyth, Fanaart, ourselves, and Hamney Row. We're starting to pull away a wee bit for the other teams. In the final game, BSC 2, Harthill 2. Well done to BSC for only their first point. Well, picked up their first point in probably 6 or 7 games. And Harthill, just they don't seem to be able to get going. They have a good win, then they lose a couple, and they have another good win and lose a couple. It's kind of strange. I'm not really sure what's going on with Harthill. I've yet to see them myself, but I think that they'd have been hoping to do better.
Aye, definitely they'll be hoping to do better. I'm happy for BSC, mate, as well, to get a point. So well done to them. It's and as you say, with Keith on as well, because we had a few of the Division 4 managers on. Really, really nice guy. So I knew that they were looking forward to that trip. And it always makes it a lot better. He was saying probably that's the first that Hamney Row have had a full squad to pick for.
Aye.
Yeah, and it's
scoring 6 goals.
And it's not, but it's no. It's surprised it's against Campbelltown away, mate. You know what I mean? So fair play to them. I hope all the boys have woke up and they've got a stinking hangover and they want to watch PG and Dax Roundup, mate, and hear a wee bit about them. Do you know what I mean? But no, a good result for them. And Keith was a really nice guy. So well done, Hamney Row.
Aye, well done to them. Just on that you're talking about, last week we recorded an episode, something a wee bit different that is going to be released next Wednesday, which will be, I don't know, about whatever, late 20s or whatever the date will be. Next Wednesday, we've got Paul McTaggart, the St Peters manager, Brian Blair, Fanaart manager, and Keith Gibson, the Hamney Row manager. It was really good to get an insight into their clubs, wasn't it, and see what they were thinking about and how they've felt the new setup's been and coming into it. So that's definitely
boxing clubs out.
Aye, they were all a bit too nice features, weren't they?
They were all being party, but see, once we do the conference A, B, C in the top division, when we've got the managers on the couch, I hope we see a few
mate, how good was the setup for the other night, though? How good was the couch and all that? And
Erskine Arts, mate, watch it. It's what I say up the guys if you up there, mate. You know what it's like? It's like the West of Scotland soccer AM, mate. It's like you get the big couches and all that. And it's
beautiful lighting and all. Mate, we even filmed a wee bit in virtual reality and the VR.
I couldn't think it anything more scary or depressing. My big baldy napper
coming at camera. That's something with the boys at Erskine Arts that do our stuff when we're in the studio. Honestly, top notch. I would highly recommend any club who want their highlights packages picked up or they want any wee bits done. The boys are unbelievable. But if anybody's got a virtual reality headset in the next couple of weeks, you can actually watch something that we've done. So that'll probably have about 3 views it'll get. But it's just a wee chat we had with it and it looks class. And finally, before we finish, yesterday I was down at St Peters Fanaart. I've done a wee behind the scenes video, something that we're hoping to get released maybe Wednesday this week, if I can manage to get it done in time. It's good for people just to see what's going on. It's something that we're going to do at other clubs, and then when Dax got a game, the both of us will go down, and it'll be brilliant with the two of us. It'll look excellent.
Hopefully there'll be a couple of midweek games coming up in the next few weeks or so, or the coming months, that gives me a chance to get down to an all, because I'd love to get down to other clubs and and see the setups and see behind the scenes and getting about the fans and all that, the people that matter.
That's my issue with doing that though, is that I would spend so much time trying to get you to stop talking to people so we could actually do things. You'd just be away wandering, chatting to everybody. I'd be like, Dak, we're working here, mate.
But yeah, the thing is, mate, you can drive, mate, because I will be in about. I'll be in with the ultras, mate, getting mad with it.
I'll drive, mate, definitely. Right, everybody, thanks for watching.
Right.
We've ran on a wee bit longer the day than we
I
normally
know.
do for this. But cheers for watching. Have a good week.
Talking shite as usual. Right,
Always.
mate, catch you later.